All right, babe.
Yes, sir.
This is our 9th year of marriage.
Glory be to God.
It's been lovely indeed.
Yes.
So I want to ask some questions like, how have we been able to stay on the same page in our financial dealings as a couple?
Oh, I think we've been able to do so because we've always had regular communication.
Regular communication,
Yes,
indeed.
you know I talk a lot.
Oh yes.
You are the quiet type.
It helps. It helps anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, and communication is quite good as a couple because it helps to stay on the same page, just like the questioner. And I also think that aside from communication, having a shared goal and budgeting together is also vital
Point.
for us to be on the same page this far, right?
Yes.
And you know, as individual, we could have different goals and we have different budget for those purposes.
Yeah.
Then, you know, as couple now, we bring those individual goals together and merge it into one. So we chase it with one energy.
And don't forget, we are one.
Yes, indeed.
We were always reviewing our progress regularly.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Project reviewing.
Yes.
Right? And you know, as a certified project manager, I always told you, review of progress is essential to ensure that you keep track on the set goal.
Yeah.
Right? And when you keep track on the set goal or review of that set goal, you are able to know when you are deviating from your goal, right?
Yes.
Then you re-strategize in order to recalibrate yourself into the original size goal, right?
Yeah.
Nice one.
In all these years, how were we able to develop trust for each other and teamwork in managing our money? So what do you have to say about that?
Quite interesting. Trust, teamwork in managing money.
Yes.
Transparency, I think, is actually help a lot.
Yeah.
You see, I'm always into capital projects, right? And sometimes if I'm not transparent with those spendings on capital projects, you might not really understand. Then another thing that I think that help is accountability and integrity.
Okay.
You see, accountability, you know, help me to ensure that whatever we decided that we're going to spend money on, I give account of how it actually went. Then integrity ensure that money meant for example, maybe a building project is not diverted into purchasing of car projects. You know, I like cars, so that's
you are right.
Now,
and there is always a torchlight from my end to see if you have actually done it, you know.
Can you recall any financial difficulty we faced? How were we able to navigate through it and come out of it?
There is one I will not forget. You know those in our early year of marriage that we try to secure good apartments. You remember?
In that place, I remember.
God
it was
of
quite
mercy,
tough.
God helped us.
I remember we paid for that apartment already.
Yeah.
And the money almost went away. So
it was prayer upon prayer.
I think
midnight.
Yes. It turned out that that apartment wasn't what we wanted. Because the whole aura surrounding the vicinity and the environment just didn't work well for us.
Yeah.
So we decided that we didn't want it and we needed to rent another apartment, right?
Yes.
So, and getting the money to rent out the apartment became quite difficult. And somehow, through prayer and your doggedness, I remember, and we were able to raise another money.
I remember that situation taught us so many lessons.
Yes, honestly, it did teach us a lot. So
can you remember
I can
one
remember,
of the
you know, because of
we
all we went through, because it took us another 4 months to recover that money. I think it taught us patience, right?
We were actually
patient
and
with the whole
we
process,
trusted God with all our life.
And we were resilient. Yes, we were resilient. And I think the biggest one of them all is that it taught us to be careful in financial decisions.
Yes.
So you must be careful as couple in making financial decisions so that you don't throw your hard-earned money to the gutters. And you know how tough it can be, right? So I want to ask, what role do you think generosity, tithing, or giving have played in our financial dealings?
I would like to classify these into two. I think as a couple, we should not take away that God factor from our relationship. This one is regards the tithing. We should always consider those things, sacrifices that belongs to God. It has a way of strengthening us financially, because it is God that giveth power to acquire wealth. So when it comes to offerings, vows, first fruits, I think we should always be number one, and we should not discourage each other when doing so. And to humanity, I think we should not relent in doing good.
Exactly. So we should not relent in doing good. Now, giving actually helps to, harmonize our financial goal, right? Now, what does that mean? That means that we have a mindset of abundance. And you know that when you give, it means that you are good, right? Financially. So when you have a mindset of abundance, then giving will become a culture. Now, this is one of the things. And also, do you know that when you pay tithe or you give, sacrificial giving both in church and, any way that you find yourself, then it gives you that mindset of submission, thankfulness, and obedience to the will of God. So how do you see this?
Very right.
So in summary, my advice to couples who wish to build financial intimacy together is that they should learn to build trust within themselves. They should learn to be transparent with their financial dealings. They should learn to have a shared goal and budget together, and also be very truthful in financial dealings, so that they would have built integrity over time, and they should learn to trust each other when it comes to financial dealings.